Hi there, I'm Alex from the Southern Ukulele Store, and I'm back once again today to take you through 11 tenor ukuleles under £300. Now, I've set £300 as the absolute topmost budget for this video because I'm getting asked more and more by people who are, perhaps they've tried a child's colourful soprano ukulele and they want to move on to something a bit more serious. £300 seems to be the top end of that budget, but there are plenty of people out there looking at ukes between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 as well. So what I thought we'd do today is take ukes from the 6 most popular brands that I can think of off the top of my head and look at some of their key models, the ones that are always popular and ones that we feel confident showing people in the market for a ukulele. So we've got Kai, Ohana, Kala, Islander, Uma, Snail and Flight. Lots of different choices today to go from, and we're going to start with the KTI-100M. Let's have a look at that now. Okay, the first ukulele we're going to look at today is the Kai KTI-100M, which is very much a new kid on the block. This time last year I wouldn't have been showing this ukulele because we'd never seen it before, but it's really kind of firmly found its place for those looking for the best value instrument at the price. And I have absolutely no problems with saying that for around £110, £115, this ukulele is the best value instrument currently available in the tenor size. It has a solid mahogany top with laminate mahogany back and sides. You'll notice it has a side sound port, which is a fantastic thing to have on a cheaper ukulele because it forces the manufacturer to really clean up and make the best product possible. Because if you look inside and you see that there's lots of crap and dust and glue everywhere, it reflects badly on the brand. And Kai are a brand on the kind of upward momentum at the moment because they produce such fantastic instruments under that £300 price point. The neck is NATO, which is a very similar wood to mahogany, a fast growing mahogany, and the nut width is 35mm. You have these very, very cool, tangled up there, very, very cool closed back tuners. They're stickers, those white bits, they normally look like that. And 35mm nut, very nice thin neck with a composite material for the fingerboard and bridge, which kind of looks a bit like rosewood, but I believe that it's some kind of factory made, man-made material. It certainly feels as good as a walnut or a rosewood fingerboard. First uke today, let's give it a play and see what you think. Okay, the second ukulele we're going to look at today is a Kala KA-BMB-T, the bamboo tenor. The bamboo series have been around for a couple of years now, and the first delivery we had of them last year just absolutely blew us away because for under £150 you get something here that's all solid, not wood, it's solid grass. Bamboo is not a wood, as I get corrected every time I say it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Haha, all solid wood, with a bamboo neck and a bamboo fingerboard and bridge. You have that slotted headstock, which looks cool with the open back tuners. And for those of you wondering about slotted headstocks and normal paddle style headstocks, what the difference is, well, a slotted headstock creates more of a backward angle for the strings going through the nut, which in turn creates a bit more tension, a bit more punch. You get a bit more of a staccato attack to the note. And yeah, these ukuleles are fantastic, affordable, all solid material, and just ready to play anything on. If you're after something that's going to get you excited every time you see it, I think this is a good choice for many. And although I can completely understand some people just like ukuleles to have a darker, more traditional look to them, if you can get over that, or if you are not one of those people, then this is a fantastic choice. Let's give the KA-BMB-T a play and see what you think. Okay, coming up next today we have a ukulele that's unlike anything else you're going to see in the video. This is the Ohana BHC-5T. Now, the Ohana BHC-5T has a slightly smaller body than the other ukuleles we're going to look at today. It's technically a concert body, but actually I think that this is just about 5% bigger than the average concert ukulele and still has a tenor-sized sound hole. Other features about it, it's laminate acacia with a comfort armrest on the top of the instrument on the lower bout for ease and comfort, unsurprisingly. You have a 38mm nut width, so a wider nut, something that someone with bigger hands can get their fingers around, which creates a wider string spacing. You have a very, very thin neck with an almost flat point on the back. It's kind of like a U-shaped neck with very, very good, very reliable open back tuners. Now, I can't tell if the nut or saddle are bone. They look like bone. They've got that kind of natural material to them. But one thing to note about this instrument is that it comes with a gig bag. It's very, very affordable, and it has a very big sound for a slightly more portable sized ukulele. Now, the first time I played the Ohana BHC-5T was actually just yesterday when I was getting ready to prepare for this video. But both Phil and Guns made a point of saying to me, "Oh, this is a really good ukulele. Highly, this should go in your video." And I was pleasantly surprised, despite having effectively a long neck concert design, so it's a tenor neck on a concert body. This has a similar sound to other tenors out there, whilst being just slightly more portable. I'd love to know what you think, so let's give it a play and see what you think. Okay folks, we know how excited you get when I do a sound sample about a flight ukulele. This is not a new model, but it is a new model to us here at SUS. This is the Flight Antonia TE. Now, the Antonia is solid mahogany top with laminate mahogany back and sides, a nice traditional natural finish, a very, very simple white mother of pearl rosette, but other than that, very, very traditional, very, very bare bones. One thing to note, you have a 35mm nut width with the open back tuners, and this instrument has the double pickup, which is a volume and tone sound hole mounted preamp with a piezo pickup and an N-pin socket, so it's already got technically a strap button ready to go, and it comes with a gig bag. It's simple, it's affordable, it plays well, and it's the tiny things with Flight that really make them a brand to watch and consider. They could have just put Ukuleles on this ukulele and it would have been fine, but they've taken the time to try different strings, and out of the factory this ukulele comes with Worth Browns, which is a really nice touch when you consider that a set of Worth Browns set you back as much as £16. The Flight Antonia has really done it for me, and I've been recommending it to people for the last few weeks here at SUS since they've arrived. But what do you think? Let's give it a play and find out. Okay, next up today we have a very familiar ukulele. This is one we featured before many times and one that I never get tired of recommending to people. This is the Ukuleles Islander AT4. The AT4, and well, actually going back a step, the Islander range of ukuleles is Ukulele's Far East brand. So if you think Ukulele make the Hawaiian-made instruments, and those designs are taken to Chinese facilities and then made in larger numbers and more affordably. This one is laminate acacia, very, very dark laminate acacia actually, on this particular one, with a really nice figuring on the sides and the back. You have a mahogany neck with an oven coal fingerboard and bridge. You'll notice that the bridge on this is a bridge pin design. The benefits of a bridge pin design is that it creates more separation between the strings. They have a more harmonious reach to the actual top of the instrument through the bridge pins, and also they're supposedly there to increase sustain, but I think that's something that's more dependent on other factors on the build and not something you'd necessarily notice on the laminate models. It has open back Grover style tuners with the white buttons and a 38mm nut with quite a deep neck. So someone out there with the old sausage fingers, the big hands, somebody that needs a bit more string spacing, more akin to a classical guitar style of player, would really appreciate any of the Islander ukuleles, soprano, concert or tenor, for having that kind of neck. But yeah, for a laminate ukulele, this more than holds its own against the Antonia and the Bamboo and the Kai that we've just mentioned, and is a good example of when a laminate ukulele done right can compete with a similarly priced solid top ukulele. But what do you think? Let's give the AT4 a play and find out. Okay, up next today we have another familiar favourite here at SUS. This is the Snail SUT-M1. Now Snail are a brand that have grown and grown and grown, and they've gone from very humble beginnings of all laminate satin ukuleles to the S60 model in recent years. But the model that really started this big change and the upward curve and momentum, the model that really I think made Snail considered to many as an alternative to a Kala or an Ohana, is this model. The SUT-M1 and its little brother, the SUC-M1, are laminate mahogany with a high gloss finish. You have the string through bridge, this one where you feed the strings through and then you would tie a knot at the sound hole to tighten it up. And you have an ebony fingerboard and bridge. And the ebony, I think, is the key thing to the sound here. These ukuleles are vibrant, they're bright, but they have depth and sustain. They are uncharacteristic of laminate ukuleles at this price, and they were the first ukulele really to buck that trend of being a laminate ukulele that was better than some solid top models when they were released back in 2017. In fact, we featured this model in the SUC-M1, the concert version, as our Uke of the Year several years back, and it's always been a favourite of ours to recommend to people looking to buy their first serious ukulele since. You have a laminate mahogany top, back and sides, which looks great with the high gloss finish. Ebony fingerboard and bridge with the Snail closed back tuners. You have a 35mm nut, once again ebony fingerboard and bridge, and these come with a gig bag, well under £200. A fantastic choice for somebody looking to take that first step up to a uke that's going to be comfortable, easy to play, and has enough brightness and vibrancy to it that if you're a player that wants to improve, you're going to hear that sparkle and that magic, and it's going to make you fall in love with the ukulele even more. Now, I try not to be heavy-handed and I try not to play favourites. I actually think that the first 6 ukuleles we featured in this video today are all on a par with each other, and the SUT-M1 is a fantastic way to top off that first part of the video. So let's give it a play and see what you think. Okay, next up today we are moving just up in price now to that £200 area. This is the Kai KTI 700. Now the KTI 700, when it came along a couple of years back, had I I guess it was considered a copy of the Kala ATP CTG, which is a fantastic Kala model with a cedar top and laminate acacia back and sides that had been very, very popular throughout the kind of 2015 to 2020 time period, but has become less and less frequently available in stock, and in fact in some territories Kala have completely discontinued it altogether. So the KTI 700 has endured and has become the kind of symbolic cedar top ukulele to have at that price. You have a solid cedar top with laminate PKT back and sides. I don't know why I said it with a slight Australian accent there. Please forgive me, Australians. You have a laminate PKT back and sides. You have a side sound port, which, as I mentioned earlier on the Kai KTI 100M, forces the manufacturer to really look at keeping the instrument tidy and clean, and the finish on these is always spectacular for the price. You have a high gloss finish with front and back red Padauk binding, which might show up on camera and might not at this angle, but hopefully you can see it. You have a mahogany neck with a composite wood fingerboard and bridge. Once again, I think they call it purple wood, or they've got a clever name for it, but it's a composite style material, but they do put the inlay there in red Padauk on the fingerboard, and you have the abalone rosette. These ukuleles come with a really nice padded gig bag. They have closed back tuners and a 35mm nut. So for those of you out there looking at Kala, or you want something that has a bit more of a classical guitar, flamenco vibe to it, or perhaps you're a finger picker, you want something that's going to ring out for longer, cedar is a great warm attack heavy wood for that purpose. So let's give the KTI 700 a play and see what you think. Just a tip for anyone out there looking for the loudest ukulele. So far this is the 7th ukulele I've played in the video, and it's the loudest by a very, very long way. I actually had to play it more gently because I didn't want to mess with the settings for the other sound samples. Yeah, very, very, very loud ukulele. Okay, I thought it would be fun to feature at least one pineapple ukulele in today's video, so here it is. This is the Ohana PKT-25G. The PK-25G is all solid mahogany. It has the pineapple shaped body, of course, with an Ovencoal fingerboard and bridge. You have a 36mm nut width with the pineapple sharp headstock, which is fantastic if you're in a bind because you can always attack someone with it. It's like a spear if you needed to. You have Grover open back tuners. And I forgot if I've already mentioned this, sorry if I have, Ovencoal fingerboard and bridge, so a walnut style fingerboard and bridge. Now, why am I mentioning a pineapple in today's video? Easy, because lots and lots of people are asking us for baritones tuned GCEA. In fact, I would say that 2 out of 10 customers at the moment are looking for that particular sound. And this is a fantastic compromise. If you really want to keep the 17-inch tenor scale, but you want the bigger body that gives you those Barry White-esque darker baritone vibes and tinges to your sound, a pineapple body is going to do that very, very nicely. By eliminating that inward curve in the middle, what you get is a slightly more rounded sound. The body actually kind of demonstrates that perfectly. The sound continues to be warmer until you've got those big bass notes at the end. The PKT-25G is a real gem, an all solid mahogany pineapple ukulele for under £300. Let's give it a play and see what you think. Okay, up next today we're going to feature probably the most popular ukulele on today's list. This is the Kai KTI 5000. Why is it so popular? Just look at it. Just look at that wood up close. It's gorgeous. It's all solid acacia. Once again, being a car, you have that side sound port, which you're either going to love or hate, but most people love it. You have a strap button fitted, as standard, with a mahogany neck, 35mm nut width with that composite material for the fingerboard and bridge. You have a slotted headstock with some really lovely black open back tuners. And just this ukulele has all of that Hawaiian vibe to it. It looks like it's been washed up on a beach. In short, this ukulele is just a great all-rounder. Regularly, I get phone calls, I'm talking every day, where someone goes, oh, my budget's around £300, and the first ukulele I mention to them in almost every situation is this Kai, because it can do pretty much any style you want it to, but having the acacia top, it's got the inherent ukulele spirit to it. It's not quite so bright and punchy. It's a bit more sweet and mellow and harp-like. And I think if your budget's around £300 and you don't want a ukulele that sounds like a classical guitar, then this should be at the top of your list to try. So I'm going to give KTI 5000 a play and see what you think. Okay, the final two ukes we're going to look at today kind of come in tandem, so I'm going to show you them one after the other and then do the sound samples of both. The first one is the Snail BHC-5T. The BHC-5T was featured in one of the first videos I did for SUS back in 2017, and it's one of the most popular videos on the channel. At the time, I used to film these sound samples on a phone camera and the audio was not great, but I think the quality of the instrument stood the test of time and people still use that video as a reference for why this is a great uke. It has a solid spruce top with laminate ebony back and sides. This particular one is very, very dark ebony. It's very hard to see the grain. You have a two-piece back there with the maple strip down the back. The decoration on the top is just subtle enough and deluxe enough to kind of suit everyone. It's abalone for the rosette and abalone front binding paired up with maple binding on the sides. You have a mahogany neck with an ebony fingerboard and bridge and just a very subtle flower inlay there around the 7th fret. A lot of people ask me about side dots. This ukulele has side dots, which are quite hard to see on camera, but they are just visible enough you would see them in a dark room if you were looking down and playing. And then finally you have the slotted headstock with this little snail logo there and those closed back tuners. It's a 35mm nut and comes with a gig bag, and it's just within budget around the £300 mark. It has a very open, very bright, very transparent sound to it. The spruce is warm, but it's also very clear. And if you're a finger picker, this is a fantastic choice of ukulele. But the one that people get torn between is this and this next uke. The next uke we're going to look at today is the BHC-6T. The BHC-6T shares a lot of the same characteristics, except it has a solid cedar top. There's no front abalone binding. It's more traditional looking, but you do get the abalone rosette. You have laminate ebony back and sides. This one is very quirky, very light ebony, but it does differ from model to model. Please do email us for photos of current stock. We'd be more than happy to send it to you. You have an ebony fingerboard and bridge, 35mm nut, once again with that flower logo on the 7th fret. A slotted headstock with the Snail logo and those open back black tuners. So yeah, the toss-up for many people is between these two ukuleles because both of them are well reviewed, they're excellent for the price, but it's just about figuring out which one is right for you. So to close the video today, I'm going to play the BHC-5T first, and then the BHC-6T, and I'll be back to say goodbye at the end. Okay folks, so we've looked at 11 tenor ukuleles under £300 this morning, but which was your favourite? Which one are you looking to add to the collection? And more specifically, between the two snails at the end there, which one did you like best, the cedar or the spruce? Let me know in the comments section. If you have any questions, you can contact us in store on 01202 430 820, or you can email me at alex@ukulele.co.uk, and this is my Ukes with Alex email address, which is a great segue. I also have my own channel called Ukes with Alex, which you can view in the link in the description to this video. I look at string comparison videos, a podcast, and lots of other tiny things that I don't do on this channel. But for now, I'm Alex from Southern Ukulele Store. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.